Mr. Muhammad Faisal Abdul Manap.
Question posed, sir.
Mr. Speaker, the Open Electricity Market, or OEM, completes the government's efforts since 2001 to progressively liberalize the retail electricity market for all consumers. In deciding when and how to implement this liberalization, the government conducted studies and international reviews of other markets to ensure that consumers are able to benefit from greater choice, competitive pricing, and innovative offers with no change to the reliability of the electricity supply. Following the successful soft launch of the OEM in Jurong, EMA commenced the nationwide zonal rollout of the OEM in November last year. By May this year, all business and residential consumers will be able to choose who to buy electricity from. The nationwide launch of the OEM is progressing well. We observe that more households are choosing to switch. Zone 2 has seen a switch rate of about 19% in the first month, compared to 16% and 11% in the first month of Zone 1 and the soft launch in Jurong, respectively. So there is an increasing trend of more households switching. Households value the choice offered by the OEM and are actively choosing the retailer and the price plan that best meets their needs. Households who are looking to switch can benefit from a wide range of competitive offers, incentives, and promotions, such as referral programs, loyalty programs, and bill rebates. Retailers are also offering value-added services and products through tie-ups with third parties, such as banks, telecommunications, and home insurance companies. Going forward, EMA will continue to work closely with the retailers to roll out the OEM to the remaining zones and actively engage consumers to raise awareness of the OEM and help them to make informed choices.
Mr. Manap.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, SMS, for his reply. I would like to have one supplementary question. Basically, as we are aware that the new vendors are offering up to 3% discount for the electricity charges. So actually, what I've understand that there's some concerns about this on the ground, where some segment of the population actually made a claim that it shows that SP Group has been profiteering in the past. The rationale is that if after 30% discount, the new vendors can still earn an income. So, so I'd like to get SMS views on this.
Mr. Speaker, the regulated tariff charged by SP Group and approved by EMA reflects the long-term costs of producing and delivering electricity in Singapore, such as the cost of building and operating the power plants. On the other hand, the electricity rates that are offered by retailers typically reflect the current market conditions, the level of competition, as well as the short-term cost of producing electricity. And under this current market condition, where the electricity production the capacity exceeds the demands for electricity, we can therefore expect market rates to be lower than the regulated tariff. However, this may change over time based on market demand and supply, and consumers should be aware that while the price plans offered by retailers are fixed for the duration of each contract, retailers, like all businesses, may adjust their prices and discounts over time. So consumers who have switched to other retailers can also switch back to the buying electricity at the regulated tariff from SP Group, should they feel that the prices at a different point in time may be more favorable to switch back. They should check with the retailers if there are any applicable charges when making the decision. So the key here is to give options to consumers to choose the price plans that best meet their needs. And I think the underlying difference between SP Group and the other retailer is that SP Group has to take into account the long-term costs of infrastructure.
Associate Professor Walter Teixeira.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the FMS if there are specified and defined criteria for measuring the benefits from the open electricity market, such as switch rates, electricity cost savings, or market competition indices. To what extent are these criteria met thus far, and are there any plans to further develop the market to meet these criteria?
Mr. Speaker, from what data we have so far from the rollout, household consumers who have switched generally pay an electricity rate of about 20 to 30% lower than the regulated tariff. So in itself, this is a very good outcome from the consumer's perspective. As this is early phases in the rollout, we will continue to monitor, number one, the take-up rate. And as I said before, for each zone of rollout, it seems the increased take-up rate has gone from 11 to 16 to 19%. So probably it will stabilize around the 20-something%. But over time, based on the market fluctuation, as electricity prices fluctuate, perhaps with different bundling as well, the take-up rate may again change. So this is something that the regulators will watch very closely.
Mr. Peng Eng Huat.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to seek a confirmation from the Minister that means SP has been supplying electricity at market rate all this while. Is that a yes or no?
Now, Mr. Speaker, the SP's regulated tariff takes into account the long-term costs of producing and maintaining infrastructure. And in the absence of competition in the past, when SP is the sole monopoly provider, what EMA does is regulate the amount of profit that SP can make. And this is benchmarked across electricity providers across other jurisdictions, which also operates on the similar structure of a monopoly. And that is benchmarked across all other jurisdictions. Today, with liberalization, by encouraging competition, we allow the market to therefore compete based on supply and demand and bring forth benefits to consumers. But at the end of the day, SP Group will continue to be the provider of last resort. Should any retailers fail, SP will continue to be the one that will provide electricity for all consumers so that there will be no disruption to the electricity supply.
Associate Professor Walter Teixeira.
FMS, given the fact that in some areas the switch rates are still rather modest and there are obviously very large savings to consumers who choose to switch, would the Ministry consider implementing switching on an opt-out basis, perhaps with assignment to a panel of open electricity retailers appointed on, let's say, a competitive tendering basis, because this may allow more consumers to realize the benefits immediately rather than waiting for them to switch?
As I explained earlier, I think it's a difficult call for the government to impose opt-out basis because, as I said earlier, price plans do fluctuate over time. If you look at this as in a similar vein to telcos and how they operate by proposing different price plans, bundling with broadband, with your cable TV, for example, the plans change over time, and I think it's hard for us to do a kind of opt-out mechanism in which consumers may then find that they are locked into something and not change when they have to. Whereas this is an active mechanism which allows consumers to make an active choice on who they want to give the contract to and get service from. So I think this is where the market must play its part. EMA therefore emphasizes a lot on the education of the consumers through this zonal rollout process, staging it zone by zone, giving enough time to educate the public so that they are aware what the price plans entail, what the price plans mean for their own consumer needs, so that over the longer time, consumers will better make informed decisions and choices, and that again will also influence the behavior of the retailers as well.